Hi, Dr. Mel doing physics. We're doing Newton's laws, and you will love Newton's laws as I like physics and the application. And you'll see Newton has a few laws, which is easy if you understand the theory. The first law is actually the law of standing in the same position or remaining in the same position. You'll get to the word just now. So, what does Newton say? Newton's first law, and remember, he's got three laws, so you have to distinguish them from each other. His first law says a body, which is an object, which is an apple, which is a toy, which is your pen on your table, will remain in that state. Now, it can have two states. It can be at rest. Now, let's quickly discuss that. A body will remain in a state of rest until a net force acts upon it. So, I've got a block there. It's just lying on a table and it will remain there, exactly there, until I have a net force. I'm pushing it with a 6 Newton, that's all. Remember that they'll always have a net force, which means it's not a balanced force. If I had 6 Newton friction that side, it wouldn't move in any case because there's no net force. Right, let's do the other part of this definition. The other part of this says it will remain in a state of moving. So it's already in a moving state. It's moving unless I have a net force, because if it moves in a constant velocity, it's not going faster or slower. You're sitting in a car, a vehicle, something that's moving, an aeroplane, and it's moving at a constant velocity, unless I have a net force on it. Right, let's go and have a look. An object is in a state of rest unless a unbalanced, which in physics we don't call it unbalanced, we say it's a net force acts upon it. So it will remain in that state. Other than that, it will be in a state of moving at a very important constant velocity, unless I've got a net or a resultant force on that. Now we've got to express that as an equation. So if I've got a zero net force, I will have no acceleration. Now these two quantities will be clearer when we do the next law of Newton. But for now, we say if I've got no net force, I will have no acceleration or no change in the movement. Now, this has got a name. You might ask, now, why is this? Why don't I want to change the movement? It's because it actually has inertia. Inertia is a word we use. It's related to mass, but it's actually related to the resistance of change. So don't feel funny if people around you don't want to change, because it's actually part of us because we've got mass. We don't want to change. So if you're lying in front of the TV on a bench, your mom will have to exert a force to get you up from there, sitting up straight, because you've got inertia. So the next time anybody says change, you can say, no, I don't want to because I'm busy with a physics experiment. I'm busy with inertia. Okay, let's go on to explaining this. Why do we have inertia? Because we've got mass. That we now know. We as people or any object. Now there's two things in the definition. Remember, it said in a state of rest. I'm sitting in a car. There I am sitting in a chair, and the car is at rest. So the car outside and I am in rest. What happens if this net force is being exerted? So the car is pulling away. Just think a little bit. What's happening to your body? The car is moving to the forward direction, and you still want to remain in rest. So you are actually moving backwards. And that is because you have inertia. So inertia is resisting that net force. let's go to a body that's moving. I am sitting in a car that is moving at, let's say, for instance, 60 kilometers per hour. That is a uniform movement. It is moving for the next 5 minutes, it's moving at 60 kilometers per hour. What happens if I now have the driver pushing the brake and stopping the car? Well, your body is still moving forward. The car underneath you is actually stopping. So you are going forward because you're resisting the change. And be careful, your head will bump against the windscreen. That's why we wear seat belts. Let's have another direction. Let's say I am moving in the car at 60 kilometers and we are now accelerating. I'm actually going faster. Well, as soon as you're going faster, you are still driving in this car, you will be going backward because you are remaining where you were and the car is driving underneath you. So that's where the rest and the uniform movement comes in with Newton's first law. Newton actually did his first law based on the work that a guy with the name of Galileo did. Now, there's lots of stuff that we now use as rules, as attributes in physics and in astrology and many, many areas of life, which Galileo actually started thinking about. He sat and he thought, why is this happening? Why is that happening? And then he postulated laws. Well, he started the work that Newton took further. He said, if I've got a little ball here, and he had a slope like that and a slope going up, he actually took a ball and without friction, remember there was no friction, a very, very smooth surface, he actually found if he put the ball there, if he left it, it actually went exactly to the same height. And then he started thinking, well, this object, a little ball, will have inertia. So it will not lose any of that mass that it has. It will move and try and get to the same point. He then took another slope. And with another slope, he saw, if I have a ball there, it will again follow exactly that same path and go to that point. Now, if he actually took this path and put it down there horizontally, according to his law, and later on, people actually said Galileo was right. If he started there and the ball didn't go up to that point there, but continued there, it actually would have moved forever and ever if there's no resistance. So it will keep on going forever. And that's what Newton was based on. Right. What's the application of Newton's first law? Remember, what is Newton's first law? I don't want to change. If I'm in rest, I want to remain in rest. If I'm moving, I want to remain moving. I don't want to change. The application is actually why we wear safety belts. If you are in a car and the car stops, you will not stop as immediately as the car, and you will continue to move through the windscreen. So it's very important that you'll have a force on your body that will push you right through the windscreen. So, according to Newton's first law, an object will remain in motion at a constant velocity, you in the car, unless a resultant force acts upon you. When a car is in an accident and comes to a sudden stop, the person inside the car will continue at that constant velocity. Now, because you were running forward, you were moving forward, your body will go forward and you will actually crash into the windscreen. And we know now that the accident will cause many, many injuries. Therefore, we use safety belts, guys. Safety belts to keep you into your position and restrain your movement through the windscreen. And that will then be the applied force. So, let's quickly have a look. You have to be able to write down the words. Define Newton's first law is, you need to write that down. It says object at rest and an object moving. And then finally, you have to apply that to, for instance, seat belts, but there might be a few other applications as well. I hope you enjoy thinking about physics, thinking about forces. When you travel, you are busy with Newton's first law. I hope you enjoyed it. Bye.